We've had two college athletes. We had another person on who played college football. So let's relate that experience to entrepreneurship, because you're a lifelong entrepreneur, you said, or at least you had this vision of wanting to be a lifelong entrepreneur. You've been in the space for 10 plus years. You've been through the challenges, and entrepreneurship is not always easy, and it's even harder because we don't have someone breathing down our neck telling us we have to do. We just have to take it upon ourselves. So if you can kind of relate like your experience with playing a sport at the college level to entrepreneurship, I think that might be valuable in helping people understand like what they're getting themselves into and why eventually they'll get through if they don't give up.
For sure. And I'll try to do this because there's things in sports that, your competitiveness, your edge, your ability to go out there and increase your skill sets, right? My ability to dribble better, shoot better, be a better passer. All these things are going to make me have an overall better game. And it's easy to understand this when you are playing a sport, right? If I shoot a higher percentage, then I'm going to make more buckets more efficiently. Well, if I increase my conversions by understanding copy and understanding target audience and all of these things, then I can get more people to convert on my website. So if you just shift your mind to understanding increasing skill sets and becoming better at little things that compound, they can 100% be directly correlated. And I think being an athlete is probably, for a lot of people, that's cool. But for all the people that are not athletes out there, and I want to make this straight, I was a weird athlete. I was extremely talented and extremely good at what I did and didn't like sports. Believe it or not. I never watched sports. I still don't watch sports or anything like that. I don't watch football, basketball, I watch a big game. So I think as you said, that made me realize that there is a direct correlation, but I've never really thought about it that way. I know being competitive in business, being competitive in sports is a thing. And of course I am. But more so is thinking about those little things that you can do to increase your skill sets over time that will have huge impacts down the line as they compound. And I think that's one of the things that people forget in business. Like I see a lot of affiliates, they go out there and they have these accounts and they take off and they have that $10,000 a month and they think they're just, nothing can touch them. And then the algorithm changes, or people aren't paying attention to that content, or that page gets taken down and it's hard to grow and it's like their business is nowhere. Well, why didn't you collect those emails and get really good at email marketing at that time if we know that that's the highest return on our investment when it comes to all marketing forms and we own that list? Well, why didn't you get better at persuasion? So now that you can, you know what I mean? There's so many different things that people should be thinking about. There's a lot of people that are in space that if it wasn't for TikTok, they might not have made their first dollar online at all. Yeah. But there's people that have been successful on the internet before that. We should be studying those people. So every time that I get into space, I go to YouTube first to go figure out, not TikTok. What were people doing on YouTube before? How were they selling it before? So I have spreadsheets on TikTok creators, on YouTube creators, on Pinterest creators that I put these people in there that are in my space doing a good job. And I study them just like I was watching film in sports to bring that back in. So that's kind of how I look at this. And that's the competitive side of it. That's the analytical side of me. And I think those things kind of do tie in. And Brian, thanks for making that analogy. I might put that into my micro-wide webinar presentation.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of analogies, and back to Russell Brunson, the kind of like entrepreneurship is kind of like playing basketball, because you know what I mean. It really helps people to start to understand, because those things are more tangible. But you're absolutely right. I didn't know where you were going to go, and with the benefit of hindsight, I now realize that you didn't know where you're going to go either, but you went to a very cool place because you talked about the incremental skills that lead to compound results. Dribbling a basketball 1,000 times a day or whatever it is, or going between your legs back and forth. That one thing isn't going to make you a starter. But if you haven't mastered that one thing, there's no way you're going to start. And when you talk about like TikTok and stuff, if you master TikTok, you might make some money. But if you don't know the patterns that have led to success over the years before TikTok, you know, the how to write a video sales letter, how to, you know, run a webinar, then you're not going to be a starter, or you're not going to be a long-term success in the affiliate marketing space. So I think that was ended up being a pretty cool little moment, and hopefully you can use it as well.